Hello, welcome back to me screaming. No, welcome back to me talking. Today we're going to be talking about my beloved prince, but more specifically his family, as an emperor, and now as you've seen in the title, Pearl. I'm going to be explaining my headcanon on how these little buggers might be related. First, I'd just like to say thank you for the positive feedback on the last one. I really didn't think people would like that type of video. I know I personally can't sit still for long and listen to someone blab on, but I feel like the visuals definitely help it out a lot, so I'm gonna try and do that again with this video. I would like to start by mentioning that this is a Coroika / Splatoon manga theory. I don't think I would imagine in the Splatoon game Emperor and Prince really exist, apart from the Splatfest, but, you know, I don't even know if I consider that canon in the Splatoon universe. And on top of that, everybody has their own little headcanon theory going on. So if mine contrasts yours, that is completely fine. Please don't hate me, please. And so, without further ado, we are going to start off with something simple. Pearl's name in Japanese is Hime Hozuki. We will be touching on the last name later, but for now just pay attention to Hime because it directly translates to princess. Pearl's agent name, if that is what you would call it, is MC Princess. So I'd say it's pretty clear that Pearl's name, at least, is directly connected to princess. This connects her pretty tightly to the naming system that emperor and prince seem to follow. An emperor, of course, being a sovereign to an empire, a prince being the son of a monarch, and a princess being the daughter of a monarch, generally speaking. As I mentioned before, Pearl's last name, Hozuki, is also of significance because it is most likely taken from the Japanese word for the colossal squid. Alright, that wasn't really relevant, but it will be relevant soon, just after a word from our sponsor. So it gets interesting. We're going to be talking about Emperry and how Emperry could be the connection between both Emperor's family and Pearl's. Starting off, this may not seem necessary, but I'm still gonna get this out of the way. Emperor is most certainly connected to the Emperry brand. I mean, can you even name one time where he wasn't dripped out from head to toe in just Emperry branded gear? Okay, yeah, there was that one time he wore the specs, but those don't count because he still wore his cuff underneath. And Splatfest shirts are kind of required if you're participating in a Splatfest. Oh, and Salmon Run outfits, same deal. And his apron, well, as far as I could tell, it didn't have any brand tags on it, so I'm just not gonna count that. And I mean, hey, look at his weapons too. He only ever uses the Emperry Splat Dualies. Even going off the Splatoon 2 test fire, we can see that the prototype Splat Dualies were literally just Emperries. Moving on. Linking Pearl to Emperry feels a little bit harder, but I feel like my evidence actually turns out to be more solid than Emperor to Emperry, which is funny. So, getting into that, let's start with what I mentioned earlier. Pearl's last name's significance in this whole grand scheme of things. Going forward, whenever I'm directly reading from a wiki page, I'm going to keep it on screen and mention which wiki it is from. Pearl takes her Japanese name from the northern pygmy squid, with Hime literally translates to princess, while her last name Hozuki is likely derived from the real-world colossal squid, the world's largest squid, which translates to Daiohozukika in Japanese. Emperry's name in Inkling loosely resembles Daioika, the Japanese name for the giant squid. I should have mentioned this earlier, but I do not speak Japanese, so I'm sorry if my pronunciation is off at all. I've searched up pronunciations for most of the other words, but as for Diozukika, I could not find anything, so I'm greatly sorry if that is not correct. Back to what the wiki was saying, both Pearl and the brand Enperry's names can be connected. The Enperry brand seemingly has about 3 or 4 symbols that they're using as their logo. One of them features a crown on top of it that looks a lot like the one that Pearl wears. Pearl has mentioned multiple times in the past that she enjoys using dualies. It had been assumed that she liked using the splat dualies because, you know, that's pretty much the vanilla. But in the official promo art for the Action vs. Comedy Splatfest, we can see Pearl is very clearly wielding a set of Enperry splat dualies. I'm sure that in the upcoming paid DLC for Splatoon 3, we will get a better idea of what weapon Pearl really uses, but for now I think it's safe to assume that she's using the Enperries. If we look closely at this Splatoon live concert merchandise, we can see the Enperry logo sitting right there. More specifically, the one we mentioned earlier with the little crown. And so that pretty much wraps up the Enperry portion of this video. Now we can move on to the lightning round. This one's pretty big. Pearl was the face for Team Champion in the Champion vs. Challenger Splatfest. Both Pearl's family and Emperor's family appear to be very rich. I'm not saying there's only one rich family in Inkopolis, but I mean, with all the other information we've gathered, I don't see why we couldn't add this to the list. Pearl, along with Emperor's team, all seem to rock the same type of style. I think you can especially see it in Splatoon 3 Pearl's new design. It's not that much of a stretch to be linking an idol to a brand in Splatoon. As we know, Marie has strong connections to the Kensa brand. And as the lightning round finishes off, so does this video. I really hope that I'm not missing anything on this topic, whether it be assisting or against my theory. But if I did, then feel free to let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it and add it to my Google Doc. But slow down, before you fact check me, I want to say thank you for 175 subscribers. I didn't even expect to get past the 40 I started with. So thank you so much, and I love you all. If you're not already aware, I also have a TikTok where I post way more frequently. I also have a Roblox group where I turn Splatoon items into Roblox clothing. So if you happen to be of the niche Coroika Roblox community, feel free to join. I will link both of those down below in my description box, yeah. I'm sorry, it's just weird to talk like a YouTuber. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be asking you to click the notification bell. Click the notification bell. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening. You really don't have to lie to me. If you don't like these types of videos, please tell me so that I stop making them. Otherwise, I'm not gonna shut up. On the topic of shutting up, I should probably do that now. So, thanks again, and have an amazing day, please, and thank you.